Good morning, students. It's our next topic of chapter number 3, election and representation, the reservation of constituencies. Actually, according to article number 324(1), the supremeness, the direction, and the control of the preparation of electoral roll for and the conduct of elections, all the elections, parliamentary elections, legislative elections, and other elections, and of elections to the office of president, the vice president, the Rajya Sabha candidates, etc., held under this constitution's article shall be visited in the commission. Means overall, if we are talking about the powers of election commission, then it is an independent organ and handle its all matters independently. Now, the in FPTP system of election, the places for the minorities and to promote the minority community and the disadvantaged community, election commission provides the reservation in tickets, in the distribution of tickets. Means the fear that the oppressed social groups may go unrepresented. So according to this reservation criteria, this fear is removed. The framers of our constitution were aware of these type of problem, that in future the majority community may be dominate the minority, so they provide the reservations criteria, reservation for the minority community. Okay. For example, on the issue of Muslim reservation was raised when the constitution was begin drafted, or we already faced the trauma of this reservation criteria, means the partition of India and Pakistan because of the uneven distribution of powers and all that. पॉसिबल था बिकॉज हमारे यहाँ पे जो मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन है वो माइनॉरिटी में थी, तो ऑब्वियसली जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन है और द पावर्स हैं वो मेजॉरिटी कम्युनिटी के पास ज़्यादा होंगे. एंड बिफोर इंडिपेंडेंस, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट बिफोर इंडिपेंडेंस, द ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट हैड इंट्रोड्यूस द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ द सेपरेट इलेक्टोरेट. ठीक है. एंड द पूना पैक्ट ऑल्सो, कहते हैं ना कि घी आग में घी डालने का काम जो किया था, दैट पूना पैक्ट ने जो किया था, a representative of a particular community was elected by the members of only his community. Means it was the demand of the Muslim community. This system was considered unsuitable for the framers of the Indian constitution, so they provide the policy of reservation to remove the domination in electoral system, remove the domination of in parliamentary system, in state legislative assemblies. Okay, reservation for Muslims had been also provided. Means at that time the constitution was being framed, the separate electorate was considered as a curse of the country by Muslim representatives. Few of them, they strongly demand that the separate electorate, the reservation for SC and STs, it was a dilemma, or we can say that for the promotion of these minority communities. There is a significant sizable group of Indian population which has been kept isolated from the centuries because they are socially backward, economically backward tribe classes. When our constitution framers adopt the FPTP system, may not give the adequate representation of to these communities, but after passing the time, our constitution means framers, according to that provision of framers or the election commission, our government provide the reservation of the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in Lok Sabha as well as in state legislative assemblies. The provision was for the 10 years, but it has been amended and extended for up to 2010, and now it was extended up to 2030. In Lok Sabha elections, out of 543 seats, there were 79 seats are reserved for ST and SC tribes. This decision on reservation is implemented by an independent body called Delimitation Commission. It is appointed by the President of India and entrusted with the task of drawing up the boundaries of the constitution all over the country. The quota or the reserved seat for SC and ST in each state is fixed. It is depending on the population of SC and ST in that state. It was decided according to the census of 1971. Means the high proportion of ST population are reserved. Likewise, the constituencies with highest proportion of ST community or ST population are reserved for scheduled tribes. Since the population of scheduled caste is evenly distributed throughout the country, reserved constituencies can be rotated each time by the commission. The commission work is close collaborating with the election commission for this purpose, for the promotion of scheduled tribes and scheduled caste, to remove the insecureness from the society. Now the reservation of women in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha or the state legislative assemblies, there is no provision of the reservation for women, but for the local or rural or urban local bodies, means the Panchayati Raj system and the municipal corporation system, there is 1/3%, yani 33% reservation for the women candidates. Is there any need for electoral reforms? Or we can say that challenges to free and fair elections. Elections in India are generally free and fair only in, if we are talking about the free and fairness, generally the free and fairness of elections in India, that it is not true in every constituency. It may be true in few constituencies, but practically it is not true. Okay. There were several challenges, several obstacles, several demands for reforms in the electoral system. Means the excess use of money and muscle power, बहुत ज़्यादा यूज़ होता है. The candidates, the parties, to win the election, they extremely use the money, muscle power, the alcohol and the other negative approaches. ठीक है, they show their domination on the small parties and make pressure on the independent candidates. Next, the criminal record of the candidate try to make a homogenized atmosphere on the distribution of tickets and the electoral seats. The muscle power is used to influence the election result also. The booth capturing type of activities, or we can say that the family domination, means the dynastic succession is also a type of problem. And it is clearly shown in the Congress party. It is a very big challenge. Similar, the lack of proper policies, the programmings, it is very difficult to choose the candidate according to their policies and programs and the practical implementation of that policy and program. Women, no proper reservation or no proper distribution of tickets to the women candidates, means they also face the lack of representation, so they cannot represent their own problems, the domestic violence, the sexual abuseness in society, the discriminative behavior in our society. So, or the smaller parties and the independent candidates are the disadvantaged to compare as the big parties. Regional and caste issues, the communal position, the communal politics, the casteism is also a great problem in our society. It also creates the electoral violence. Media, very important factor, and sometimes media also play a crucial role in making the divisible sources in our society.